Gotchi mode. All right, ZFI, we're live. Are you guys going to come on the stream here? Where can we find that? Here we go, friends. Here's a nice tweet we just put out with fake gotchis yesterday. This looks insane. Look at those fake gotchis. And do we have Golden Cross in the house? He's on. We can probably talk about what was revealed. Let me give him a ping, see if he's around. Nice. Well, we got a very good agenda for you guys today. We're going to let everyone come in, do the channeling, and then you guys are definitely going to want to stick around for the first hour. We got some big stuff going to be coming out on the Twitters, on the blog, in about a little bit over an hour here. Hey, GM, sir.
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Sorry. Here, I am.
I was in my right now.
All right.
Good.
Sorry. Here, I am.
All right, we got the ZombieShepherd YouTube stream going.
Oh, wow, nice.
I was just telling everyone there was some major fake gotchis alpha dropped over the weekend in Miami, and you're the perfect guy to fill everyone in on what was dropped there. What is going on?
Yeah, we should get the Twitter thread dropped in here if we can. That really sums it up if people haven't seen it yet. But ZombieShepherd was there in person and definitely able to give us an on-the-ground take on the reaction that people were giving him. But long story short, we had a big reveal. Long time in the making. We've wanted to do something really special with fake gotchis. So not only everything we've done online, but we wanted to bring in the physical realm. And so non-fungible physicals was the concept. We're talking about NFPs, people. NFPs.
Sick.
So, yeah, hashtag NFPs. We're owning that. And we're delivering with a really cool partner, Soulmate Origins. Kind of reminds me of the GBM team in the sense that they're super into the tech. They're delivering something really, really special that nobody else has really got down. And again, we're like the very first ones to go to market with them. So for all the crypto art out there, I'm just so thrilled that we were able to get an introduction early to them and also just recognize the opportunity here. Fake Gotchis was still in like the development mode when we were talking to Soulmate, so it just made perfect sense to kind of build in tandem with them and eventually have this ready to go. So it was a big reveal in Miami this weekend at the Art Basel. And a lot of artists, a lot of talent, I'm told, are really excited about it. Really excited to go hands-on and see for themselves. And just what a great way to introduce people to Aavegotchi, even if it's indirectly. It's yet another proven and exciting onboarding method for talented people that are really about staying in the NFT space, regardless what kind of animal is in front of the word market. So we had the lead on this was Jason Desimone. He's down there. He's our head of physicals, in charge of anything in real life. If it's tangible, he's in charge of it at Pixelcraft. And he got to be taking the lead on this to set everything up. And it seems like he did a lot with a little in some respect. I mean, he had time to plan and to execute, and it was just great reports coming in from everybody down there. No futuristic. We were able to see him go down there. ZombieShepherd obviously was there. Yeah, great. He's in the chat with us now, running the stream. I can't believe he's even up. You guys were all out on the town, is what I heard. I heard they're out roaming with some of the Polygon team and some of the other major NFT projects. I almost said NFP, but I think we're the only NFP project at this point. So, yeah, it's really cool. If you're looking at scratching your head, the real quick
My
thing
mind
on
is
this
blown, honestly. How do they work? Because like, how does it even scan it? Crazy.
yeah. So it's like when we say the ink was developed at Area 51, we're kind of not joking. Like it might have been. These guys have been around in the industry in their own space for 10 plus years, and their whole specialty is high security inks used for things like passports, currency, all that kind of stuff, super corporate high end security stuff. And they just recently kind of made this offshoot to pivot to explore Web3. And we got an introduction and kind of we're blown away right away, right? We're like, okay, so what do you do with this ink? And what they do is you can basically order a beautiful, high quality portrait, gallery ready, framed image of whatever NFT you want. Obviously, ours are fake gotchis. And then what happens is instead of using like, what is it, NFC near frequency stuff, which these guys are like super green on top of it. So it's all paper and ink, no plastics, but they get the same and greater effect for far, far cheaper in scalability. So yeah, you see Prismade right here, Prismade Labs,
Wow.
and then their Web3 version is Soulmade, and so Prismade and Soulmade, this is the team behind it. And what happens is you get this cool like credit card size card. It fits right in your wallet, and it's nice, high quality, durable. I got a ton of samples here, and it feels so good. Basically, you have a QR code on your picture frame for your fake Gotchi print. We're calling those verified fakes, by the way. So you get your verified fake physical. You scan the QR on the back. It matches a one-of-one Soulmade print to prove and verify that your verified Gotchi, your print is in fact, a canonized official collectible physical. And then what happens is you actually have two collectibles: the framed picture itself, which you've just verified, and then the card itself is also quite desirable and also one of one. So because when you scan it, then what you do is you put that card up against your phone, and you use that ink to simply run your finger along it, and it will, without downloading any app, it just like boom takes you in to verify your framed artwork. And then what you do is you got a couple tabs, and one gives you real-time data pulled from the blockchain. It's just looking at the NFT that's associated with this. This is basically a physical derivative of your fake Gotchi. So it's looking and saying, oh, okay, you got, the Gotchi mode from Zbot. He's also the publisher. These are his addresses. This is everything proved on Etherscan, a link to that. And here's the most recent trade of these NFTs on Fake Gotchi's Bazaar. All of that's there in one tab. And then on the other tab is what makes your physical really NFP. So what happens on the other tab is it's for the print, and it tells you the date that your print was printed. It tells you the type of paper it was printed on, all the dimensions, all that kind of information. But then how you have a token ID with your NFTs? With this, you actually have a print ID, which literally says, each one that comes out and is printed by the Soulmade, they mark like this is the first print, this is the third print, this is the 100th print. And so you can see where this goes if it adds this collectible and historical aspect to even the physical, where you literally do have an NFP. Like you can scan it and prove that this particular framed artwork is the whatever number one to have been printed, and it was printed on this exact date. And so it's really, really cool, kind of just such a hybrid of physical, and you always hear about this word phygital. I think this is really taking the cake on what that can be. So we're super excited to partner with Soulmade. We might get them in here for an AMA at some point. Great team. But yeah, they're stealing the show down there in Miami all week. I'm hearing like artists are just blown away. They're loving it. It's a whole new way to experiment and just, again, like show off your artwork, and everything's quality. The prints are top notch. So pretty soon, the end story of this is we're working to get a Shopify kind of storefront. I don't know if it's Shopify, but it's a storefront at Aavegotchi to actually be able to take orders on these, hopefully in time for the holidays. That's our goal. So we've worked with them to get that set up, and we're just on our way to delivering that. So this week was the reveal, and we'll have more news very soon. So get ready for those early print IDs.
Yeah,
Out of curiosity, would that translate? Let's say you wanted to like do a hat or something. Would that translate, or is it just for like intended for wall art?
Great question. I think you could theoretically do this with anything you could put a QR code on. So in our case, this first go-to-market is let's do it with the fake gotchi art. But Soulmate, in theory, they could probably do this with anything they could put a QR code on. Yep.
That's crazy technology that they're using. This it's like super close range kind of chip, right? That's with this ink. Very cool stuff.
Nobody else can do that. They've got it patented. So it's like GBM in that sense. They've got their patents.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's Area 51 level stuff, and I can't wait if we can hear from Anthony, ZombieShepherd, or maybe Jason will hop on here later, give us some feedback. But
I mean, so like when you drag your finger across it, the ink somehow like affects how your finger touches your phone screen. Like, what's happening in that mechanism? Do we know?
I think Thrax is saying it correctly. It's electrosensitive, or it's like on their own website they describe it at some point as like electronic sensitive ink. So it's like ink technology. They're into ink tech.
Okay, so as you drag your finger across it, it sends some kind of code. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's some next level stuff, and like I say, it makes it what they're really all about, like making it green technology, so you can achieve what other people are doing with much more cumbersome tech.
Well, when you were saying it was all like paper and ink, I'm like, my signals were kind of like, what?
Yeah. I remember the earliest call with them. I was like, because I got some of these like different collectibles back in the day that you put them in a big heavy plastic case to protect them. And I was like, oh, don't you want to? Would I want to put one of these in like a plastic sheath? And they're like, no, that's the whole point. We want this to be very green and earth friendly and still achieve far superior, UX. And I was like, oh, okay, that's so cool. Yeah. I just like the whole, aesthetic and ink and the way it tracks your print, your physical in a very, blockchain-esque way. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I think we're going to try to offer a variety of sizes for the prints. Maybe we'll expand that. We'll see if the demand is there, but we can't scale right away. But we're going to start with like medium and large physicals. If you've seen the images on Twitter going around from the galleries and the displays, I think we're looking at a mix of the two. But there's like a 40 by 40 square, and there's a 20 by 20 square. I know that for a fact. And we'll have the portraits and landscapes available as well. I think the biggest one you can get, for whatever reason it works out, we'll see. But right now, the biggest one you can get is for the portraits and landscapes. It's like 75 by 50 or something. So we'll see, but it's going to be nice. Hopefully we get to a point where we can expand with even more variety of choices. And I see Gravy dropping the Art Basel Miami Takeover. They're going to be, Jason's down there a couple more days. I think Shepherd's also staying down there. And they're going to have an event later today. And so if you have friends down there at Art Basel, let them know. They're going to be at a place called, somebody tell me, something Stadio, Soccer Stadio, Sports Stadio.
Yeah, it's called Stadio Soccer. Everyone's it's kind of cool. Hey, GM. Yeah, there's a handful of communities that are involved. We've got this. It's an outdoor soccer facility that we've got, privately booked for the day, and should be a lot of fun. We're going to have the World Cup on TV. There'll be an open bar for anyone who attends. There's no cover charge. We just need people to register through the link. And we'll be hanging out, playing soccer all day from 1 to 5. So definitely come on by. I've got some limited edition fake gotchis in Miami shirts for anyone that can make it. So definitely come out and you can check out this tech too in person, which is really cool.
Jason, you also, how many of those POAPs are left? We got the Fake Gotchi Soulmate Origins, the Miami Reveal POAP.
Yeah, we have quite a few of those. And what's kind of cool is the POAPs are mintable through one of these Soulmate cards. So you get to have the experience of kind of the same verification process, and it'll issue the POAP. They're only mintable from the 1st through the 5th of December. So anyone who's in person here locally, definitely, try to make it to the event or try to link up with us and grab one. Because I think only like 15 or so have been minted so far. So, maybe one of the most rare items in our ecosystem.
Yeah, I just dropped a link here. It's not really obvious, but if you click the join us in celebrating NFP tech tweet, that one's got a video that really takes you through the whole way this card works. And you can just see exactly what I described a few minutes ago. So yeah, I didn't realize that's cool. They have that limit with POAP, so you can't mint them after a certain date. Because I was going to suggest if you end up huddling any, it would be only appropriate, since we're doing NFPs, that we always do burns for NFTs. You could literally just go back when you get home and record yourself lighting them all on fire. Let's do a real NFP burn.
I know No Future has some, so if any DGens want to hit him up for that express overnight shipping, I'm sure he'll probably make a deal for you. He's always on the hustle.
Yeah, anybody who wants to get one, you guys should reach out to these guys and get one. It's great to just experience, and it's a pity if they go to waste. Oh, Zico's asking about the sweaters. I think we do have an update on those.
Yeah, we got a shipping notification yesterday. So our sweaters were manufactured overseas, and they are on their way to Santa's workshop, where they're going to get packaged up with goodies and then shipped out to everyone. So I believe the goal is to have this store up this upcoming week, so people can start to order, and everyone should be able to wake up Christmas morning wearing their wonderful Aavegotchi sweaters.
Nice. It's gonna be a big. It's already been a big month. There's only 3 days into this month, and we've got fake gotchis with the cards. We've got the GBM that just launched 2 days ago. We can talk a little bit about that. That's been wild. Non-stop action in the auction house.
While we got Jason here, though, I got to pick his brain on one thing. What is the reaction to people, good, bad, or otherwise, with the Soulmate cards and the Fake Gotchi gallery? Were there any interesting hot takes, or how was it?
There were. People are really, really into it. That being said, I will say I think a lot of people don't necessarily get it. Unfortunately, I'd say maybe that's like 30% of the folks. That just kind of I don't know if it's just not taking the time to pay attention, or they just want something a little quicker, because there is a little bit of a process here. You scan the image, and then it brings you through this portal where you verify with the card. That being said, the folks that get it are absolutely blown away. I think kind of the understanding that this does is it's taking two pretty cool elements from blockchain and tech, and applying them to physicals, which is two-factor authentication, as well as a token ID in the form of a print number that stores that on-chain print data. So the folks that get it are super into it. I think that there's maybe going to be a little bit of an acceptance curve, but I think it's definitely very, very unique, and I don't see anyone else doing anything even remotely similar. So I think it's just a matter of time of raising awareness, getting the product out there, but people love it.
I heard in one of the back channels with Polygon that they were partying with you guys last night. The news is broke, preceding you.
Oh yeah. They, I mean, the Polygon folks are absolutely stoked. They love Gotchi Gang, of course. But yeah, they were super blown away by it, and we've been having a great time. I mean, Magic Eden was down here also, and they just been supported, and they were super stoked on the project. So it's really exciting to have to see all the support for Gotchi Gang is by the people that matter. It's pretty awesome.
Right. Well said. Yeah. Cool. And I think I saw ZombieShepherd's mic's not working, but he's streaming this. Really cool. Let's get a mic check from Zombie. No.
Yeah, I saw ZombieShepherd was wearing that the "This Is Fine" artwork on a T-shirt, and I have that artwork on my parcel. It was like a brain seizure, like seeing him in Miami with that shirt on with the art that I have on my parcels. That was pretty neat.
You can't forget the SBF Gotchi on the arm. He actually took my meme and put it on his like a shoulder patch.
Hey, can you post that in the Hangout chat? I hadn't seen that yet.
Oh yeah, I'll grab the tweet right now. GM everyone.
Hey sir, GM.
Jesse or someone here just mentioned Magic Eden. I think was it Jesse or someone had posted about that this week. Maybe we can.
Yeah, we had an AMA. Jesse was in an AMA with them.
That's what it is. It's an NFT marketplace, right? Magic Eden.
Yeah, they were one of the bigger ones or the only one maybe on Solana. And since Solana's kind of wrecked these days, they're coming over to Polygon as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good to share the stage with them. Polygon reached out and said, with them coming over, they want to have some OGs from NFT Polygon there to meet and greet and kind of just onboard and hang out, get to know them because they're kind of a big deal. So it was a good time. Shared a lot of knowledge. I thought it was a good AMA. And then I know they were sponsoring a lot of stuff down at Art Basel, so it's good Jason and some Gotchi Gang got to run with them. Because I'm hoping, we'll see, they haven't deployed their contracts yet, so we're kind of, pushing that it wouldn't be so bad if we got some of the same royalty support for another major exchange on Polygon. So that's one of many things maybe we could do together.
Yeah, they seemed very supportive, and they were also very, very impressed with their grid.
It's great seeing all the partnerships happening during the bear market where a lot of projects. I was kind of looking around my Discords the other day, cleaning up, and some of these Discords are just ghost towns, man. There's not a whole lot going on, and we're just we're coming up with some really innovative stuff here. I was just listening in when you guys were discussing the cards and the prints and all that. That's yeah. I mean, I think I'm in the middle of a move right now, so it'll be good. As I'm getting acquainted to the new place, I can start getting some prints up on the walls.
Anthony ZombieShepherd just mentioned another cool part about Miami that I would also be curious to learn more about. It sounds like Zombie's been rolling hard with the Lens Protocol team down there. So, also, Jason, I don't know if you met up with those guys as well, or if you can speak on Zombie's behalf. But
I know they've been rolling. I've been trying to link up with those guys. We've been both, kind of divide and conquer here, so it's been tough. And I'm hoping today we're able to link and I can, check those guys out. But I know they've been rolling pretty deep. We've just unfortunately kind of been pulled in two separate directions.
No, that's good. There's a lot to do. I wish Zombie's mic was working. I definitely am curious because there's just so much going on with Gotchi Gang and Lens, like organically, way beyond even Pixelcraft or anything. You guys are just doing it. So super excited to see you guys linking up down there and making things happen.
Yeah, it's a blast. I mean, it's really just cool to be here. I've been going to these conventions for a little over a year, so this is the first official convention on behalf of Aavegotchi. So it's been really, really wonderful to represent the project and to meet some holders as well as just talk to folks in the space that are familiar with what we're doing and to get that positive feedback, because we know we're so awesome. So it's good to see that recognized and to be part of the team.
Gotcha Gang is a good group. You give me some Miami FOMO here.
Guys, get ready for next year because it's only going to be bigger. So we got to represent hard down here next year for sure.
Yeah, I want to double down.
Maybe a BRF role for some private jet tickets, maybe.
Is there a next conference that you guys are excited about?
Yeah, for sure. I was actually just talking with Jesse last week about NFT Miami. I unfortunately wasn't able to go to Art Basel, but I think, I already got the tickets for NFT Miami. So hoping to go down there. I think that's end of March. And so going to be repping the Gotchi Gang in Miami then.
That's a perfect time to visit Florida.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great one. Anyone going to East Denver, maybe?
I'll definitely be at East Denver for sure.
Oh, awesome. Let's definitely connect. I'm very interested in the Miami one. If Denver is by the end of February.
Yeah, last week of February, first week of March is the ski retreat portion up in Breckenridge.
Yeah, I think NFT Miami is going to be really interesting, just with everything we're discussing here with utility and what we offer as a crypto pet and the whole angle on fake gotchis. I think is a really unique, interesting area in in this space, and so I think we'll definitely stand out at an event like NFT Miami, where a lot of the projects are still trying to figure out their way forward now. With everything changing in the market, we kind of are still executing probably like even on a higher level than we were before. It's like bear markets really are for building. So, I think going to events like that is going to be great for us.
Yeah, man. I mean, in the bear market, things get quiet. People start seeing who the actual ones left standing are, and values kind of accrues to those. People have fewer options. They're looking to see what's actually legit out there. So I think this is where we're going to shine. Less noise, more signal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got people IRL asking like, "Do you still are you still in crypto? Are you still doing all this?" And then I tell them about Aavegotchi and how we haven't really stopped. And actually, that's been getting some interest lately from people who are like, "Well, I thought NFTs were like dead, right? Like NFTs are kind of done, right?" And it's like, no, well, there's actually we focus on a different aspect of NFTs, which is this idea of a crypto pet and something you're interacting with, and then it's also something you'll use across many different games. And it seems like people are listening now. For some reason, there was a lot of I guess there's a lot of noise in the bull market. So, you tell people this and they just think, oh well, it's another, it's just another NFT scam project. But now it's like a lot of those projects are gone, so they're kind of wondering, asking like, why are these guys still around? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, I've been talking to, quite a few founders down here and folks that are managing projects. And, I can tell you from just what I'm hearing, there's very few, if any, projects that I've got insight on that are as well positioned as we are currently. Not only from like where we're going and what we've already accomplished, but just, from a management perspective, a lot of folks are, they might not be naked when the tide went out, but they're not wearing too much clothing right now. So
Yeah.
it's good to know that we're in the right place to be doing the building that's so important at the moment.
Hey, can you hear me now?
GM. Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome.
GM, young legend.
Oh man, it's been so fire out here. Like, it's crazy because I start talking about, the non-fungible physicals, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. You're like linking it to the blockchain. Yeah, that's awesome. And then I'm like, yeah, but this fake gotchi art exists in our metaverse. And they're like, wait, you got a metaverse? And I'm like, oh yeah. And then I got to walk the whole thing back. They're like, wait, what is a fake gotchi? What are you talking about? Like, it's been crazy. And people are like so impressed with what Aavegotchi's do. And they're just like blown away. And, lots of different people like that are building with the Lens team have been like, we want to talk to y'all. We need to talk to y'all. And I'm just like, hey, DM me. We'll get you in touch with whoever we need to get you in touch with if they want to work, But I mean, I can't even remember at the moment because I'm actually pretty exhausted. I was probably up till 4. It's 9 now, so I'm like barely slept. But yeah, it's been really cool, and I think the Lens team will be out there today to hang out. At least there's a lot of not just the Lens team, but the creators and people that Lens has been working with, like myself, that are creating content. And so a lot of those people are really now getting into Aavegotchi. And they've actually been pushing me more because I do all my Aavegotchi stuff on, Web 2. But they were like, you need to be posting that on Lens more. Like, we didn't even know you did this. They're like, we didn't know you were doing the community call every Saturday. I was like, yeah. Like, they were like, oh, we just thought you were an animator and musician. So it has been a really awesome time. But yeah, if there's any other specific questions, I had to restart my device, so it wasn't working before. But yeah.
Are you going to wear that shirt again today?
If it doesn't smell.
Trying to get him to burn some of those pieces if possible. Make them as rare as we can. I feel like the floor rises every day you wear that shirt down there.
People definitely love the shirt, and that was another big pull because even if we weren't at a fake gotchi thing or talking about Aavegotchi, people would see the shirt and be like, hey, what's up with this? And I wore it to Alien Friends, and everybody was like, it was so funny hanging out with these ETH NFT projects, and they're just like, they've got their images, they got their PFPs or whatever. And then I'm like, no, we got a whole metaverse already. And they're like, are you kidding me? And then like, they just get blown away by the whole thing. It's just, it's crazy to me that people don't already know more about Aavegotchi. And I think it really is just the Polygon thing. I think there's a lot of like, ETH maxis that just haven't messed with Polygon and don't realize like, what Aavegotchi's doing over here just because they're not looking yet. But Aavegotchi might be the project to make them turn their heads.
Yeah, I mean, just, someone's like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? It's like that's an hour conversation that you could keep going on and on and on about.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like the lore behind that image and the burning of the Lens versions and that whole thing.
Well, the fact, that shirt's inspired because we have a bonding curve and, SBF didn't run off with our money, essentially.
Yeah, that shirt, it's inspired me to take my character and make something really cool, like as a fake gotchi card. So that was inspiring to see that. It's a really cool feeling seeing something you made, whether it's content or artwork or whatever, being out there in the wild, being appreciated by people. So
Yeah, that was like a total last minute decision too. Like literally, I was like, all right, I'm going. And then I realized like, oh man, I need like some stuff just for this trip. And was like, I reached out to you and Stellar Hobbs and was like, hey, can I use y'all's artwork on a shirt? I'm gonna make, and it's the only shirt right now, so it's a one of one.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like we're at a phase in this project where it's kind of just like moving levers. Like we got the machine built, the wheels are on it, we're ready to do some driving. It's like, all right, who's on the gas, who's on the wheel, how fast are we going? Do we need to hit brakes? You know, and just like passing those votes to hit the gas, and then, you know, maybe passing a vote to hit the brake every once in a while. It's fun to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. Like quality software, quality communities, everything takes time. And someone had a comment, I think it was last Hangout. It's like most crypto projects hit their stride in like their second or third year. Like you got to go through a whole cycle before you really hit your stride. I think that's pretty true. Like Axie was the same way. They built their whole thing in the 2017 bull market, and then they, you know, we all went through the bear, and they came out in the 2020 bull market.
oh man, that was the wildest feeling too. Like, you know, I was kind of in the midst of that when they were coming out of that, and people were talking about Axie Infinity. I got in there, you know, I bought a bunch of Axies between like $10 and $50, and then you fast forward 6 months, and that collection was worth like, you know, almost $100K. Just in Axie, you know, these Axies that I spent less than, you know, $500 on were worth, you know, a lot of money, really quickly. And it was just a crazy feeling just to see that, you know, like Axie Infinity was on the news. They were like on CNN and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like it was like a viral explosion. And they had been building since 2017, right? And they didn't see that till like 2020. So that was about,
I think even
you're right,
before, man. Like 2015, 2016. They were a pretty old project.
Yeah.
Gives us a lot of time to harvest Alchemica. I saw a post on that vote thing mentioning how, you know, the guy was kind of saying like 30% of the people that vote against something kind of get like exiled or something, and I was dwelling on it for a couple days, and I'm like, yeah, that's true for the time period in between when you can convince another 10% people to send it back the other way. So it's like if we have a close vote, we can let that play out, and then someone can put up a vote, and it's not going to be hard to turn something off that you already had a percentage of the community, you know, not wanting to do anyway. So it's like you just have to give that time for it to play out. If it works, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, convince another 20% of people to like maybe go the other way that had, you know, initially voted to do one way.
Yeah, like economies are things that they're not static. They're dynamic. They're always going to require some sort of like levers, because some, you know, things go really well for a while and then they get too good, and then they need to be tampered down a little bit, and then they swing the other way, and they got to be adjusted a little bit the other way. Like this is very, very common. It's just instead of us as the lead devs doing it, we want to have everyone part of that process. We don't feel like it's a very Web3 thing to do, to be manipulating those levers like unilaterally.
I think that shared responsibility is going to result in a different kind of community when we look at this like 3 or 4 years from now, compared to when you see like similar MMORPGs, but they don't have that. Like you say, it's more of a developer-centric design decisions that are being made. And oftentimes when the developers in these games, when they make these big changes, a certain portion of people are always unhappy with the decision that was made, and sometimes they really just get, they scapegoat the devs, like it's like this whole witch hunt thing, and it's like the game is broken and all this stuff. But then nobody does anything about it because it's like what's done is done. Like the patches have been implemented. This has been already pushed through. We're not going to go back and do all this stuff. So, but here it's kind of like we avoid that whole scenario by making sure these things are meeting quorum, and I guess the community discusses these things. Like that's why we have the Sunday meetings, and it's awesome. It's awesome to be a part of that process.
And I mean, things can definitely get a little bit spicy sometimes, for sure, because these are big decisions that we're making as a community, and they're happening in real time, sometimes pretty quickly. So things can get spicy. But at the end of the day, this is our economy, it's our community, it's our project together. So we need to stay polite to each other and just keep it chill and try not to. Don't insult anyone. Just keep it polite and nice. While still, you can have your opinion. Everyone's going to have their bags that they want to defend, which is perfectly rational behavior. So it's part of all that is part of the process, and we can try to streamline that process and make it efficient and easy for everyone to participate in. But it's going to happen. Things are going to get spicy all the time. It's fine.
The spice is a part of the gameplay for sure.
Yeah.
I did have I'm in the midst of moving. I moved the gotchis from one wallet to another, just for some OPSEC, and that vote. We're in the midst of that vote. So I'm correct in assuming that the gotchis that were moved aren't going to get XP, correct?
Well, as long as they're in the wallet that you voted in, if they're not, like if you've recently moved them to a hardware wallet.
Yeah, it's been within the last couple days, so I haven't voted on the new wallet.
Well, send me. Usually, if you can prove that you moved them to a hardware wallet, just you can send me the hardware wallet address, and we can add that to a list. I am
much appreciated. Thank you.
To put out some XP this weekend. We do have quite a few core props to start catching up on.
I'll get that address sent to you. Thanks.
Cool.
Jesse's asking, what new sticker was the biggest hit in Miami? Do we know? What were people really going after?
Oh, that's a great shot. Little fake gotchis action next to. Is that a CryptoPunk?
I think
That's
the one with the fake gotchi sticker is the most popular one. I think I'm out of those already.
Yeah.
Like those just flew off the tables.
Yeah, the fake
Not the cards, but the individual little ghost symbol. Yeah.
Yeah, people love them. They're colorful. They've got the Miami colors going. Also, just naturally, our fake gotchi logo kind of has those fun Art Deco colors. So people are
and a lot of people walk up for that sticker and we're like, oh, this is a cool like Pac-Man sticker. I'm like, no, this is Aavegotchi, and they're like, what is that? And I have to go down the whole rabbit hole, and they're just like,
here we go,
blown away. Like,
so I'm friends with I don't know if you guys know NFTs Anonymous. He's like an influencer, but I've been like. So I've been trying to pill him on gotchi for like a year, and I finally made some headway on this trip. But last night we have some T-shirts with the fake gotchi logo, except he's got some cool Miami shades on, and he came up to me. He's like, "I need one of those shirts. That art is so cool." And it was the art actually, which was really interesting. That got him excited about it, even though I've been literally. Trying to pill him for like a full year now. So, people love gotchis. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, having the art really opens up. People, they think of NFTs, they think of art. kind of makes sense. If you're not art, they're like, I don't know what this is. So it's a perfect way to gotchi pill them. Start with something they know, and then just lead them down the rabbit hole.
Well, it's also important to emphasize that the tech dictated the art, because the gotchis look the way they do because you had to fit them on chain, right?
Yeah, very true.
So as like an artist, artists love constraints and medium like restrictions. So like explaining like, hey, it's pixelated because it lives on the chain and not some Amazon server.
I think that's why Aavegotchis are gonna have longevity. Like nobody's talking about that yet, but gravy. That's really cool, actually. The longevity, right? We're all on chain, so that's pretty. I'm trying to search for the word, but like resistance to being like removed from the blockchain or censored, or having a server go down. I see Hernani is unmuted there. Maybe you could touch on this.
Yeah, I was going to suggest the word resiliency.
Yeah, resiliency. That's a great word. Yeah, I think that
The
describes
Lindy
it.
effect. Lindy, what do they call it? Like Lindy something? Are you Lindy or are you not Lindy?
Lindy effect. Yeah, the longer something persists, the more likely it is to continue to persist. So I think Aavegotchi definitely has that effect going for it.
100%.
Oh, Dr. Wagme coming in with some fire alpha. Do we want to see a Forge art leak? What do we think? Should we leak some art?
Ooh.
Okay. I like it. It's definitely with the Aavegotchi theme.
It definitely looks like sperm. Back to the drawing board.
Gotchi eggs.
I was really expecting like a hammer or some kind of smithing stuff.
Oh, I like
there
that.
We go. That's the sauce.
Oh, yeah. I love that. That is a wearable set right there. I love the little pet too. Is that like some what are we calling this? What are we calling this pet? Like this Gotchi's pet? It looks like a little like a mini dinosaur kind of looking thing, right?
Slag.
I like it. Is that slag with 2 A's? Slag. That's awesome.
Slag's got a meaning in I've heard that word before. Is it British English? That it means something pretty maybe kind of. We got any Brits in the house?
A slag is kind of like a derogatory term just for someone who's like kind of like a jerk off, I guess, or something.
It's exactly what I thought of when I saw the pet.
Not to be confused with the Chad, which is like a poor, like trashy white trash British person, which is a whole rabbit hole you can go down. It's very interesting. Hey, one thing I do remember talking with Christina and Brad from the Lens team. They're part of Growth. They both actually came over from TikTok to join the Lens team. So they worked on the board in the house NFT drop that TikTok did. But they were super interested in having Lens integrated with the Gotchiverse. When I was telling them about the Gotchiverse, they were like,
are y'all going to integrate? And like, we're discussing it. We're trying to figure it out. Like, they're talking about, what it's going to look like. I was like, I kind of think lodges will open up that possibility. And they're like, what are lodges? So definitely, we've been talking about it a few times in the Saturday call. So y'all be thinking about that. And if you want to talk to anybody, it's easy to get those connections. They're eager to talk.
Yeah.
Just maybe mention that we have PvP next on the roadmap. In case they're like, why haven't we heard from you guys in a week? And be like, well, we're all fighting each other.
How do you guys see?
Trust me, that team is so freaking busy that they will not even notice until you reach out. They'll be like, "Oh, we've been waiting." Like they are literally traveling the world with Lens. Like they go from city to city. I don't even know when they go home. They're crazy.
That's crazy. They have like a whole offline presence. That's pretty sweet.
How do you guys see a potential integration between Aavegotchi and Lens? Just curious. Is it like, oh, you're just gonna show your Lens on the Gotchiverse, or are there any more interesting applications?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say we kind of discussed this a little bit before, but the way I thought it would be kind of cool to have a lodge based experience. So you go in the lodge and basically you'd have the Lens plugin for the inside of your lodge, and you could have all your posts, mirrored posts that you have, NFTs that you've collected, and just have a whole bunch of like, this is like your social presence on Lens inside of your lodge. Would be really cool.
I mean, there's DMs on Lens now, so it could even be like, we were talking about like the mailbox and stuff like that. Maybe that's part of like how these things can operate, is using Lens as the rails for the mailbox and other things, like, because the DMs are really cool too, because they are encrypted. Like, so no one can see your DM but you and the person that sent it. So even though it is on chain, it is not like a public messaging that anyone can just get into.
That'd be interesting.
That's pretty interesting. So it's encrypted on the blockchain, and you need your private key to decrypt it locally or something?
I guess so. I didn't really get deep into the tech, but they were telling us that it's totally private. Like there's no, anybody reading your conversations at Lens. There's nobody who can look on the back end to see what you're doing. As far as I know, like that's kind of what they've said.
Cool.
And I was asking Christina last night, I was like, hey, do you know if is Lens built on the diamond? And she was like, I don't know what that means. So I was like, all right. And she's like, well, yeah, we'll have to talk to David. And I was like, okay, cool. I know David too. So I'll just DM him in Telegram and see what he says about that. So it could be that like they're also built on the diamond, and that might make things a lot easier.
I don't think it is, but it'd be sweet if it were. But I don't think it's, you mean the diamond standard, right? Like the Yeah. I don't think they used the diamond. They should have though, but they probably didn't, because it didn't. I've been literally shilling the diamond to Stanny since like in 2020, because they knew, they like very early on we were using it and telling their team about it. So I wish they had, but they'd be maybe they'll rewrite it one day with the diamond. It's just so nice, so easy to use.
It's difficult to push a new standard, right?
I mean, literally, yeah. Nick has had such a tough time. He got pretty much all the auditors threw stuff at him, and he was able to get through it all. And it finally is it's an accepted ERC standard. So he made it, and more, especially a lot of GameFi projects are using it, because it just makes sense. It's no one wants to deal with proxies anymore. Ugh, those things they're terrible to work with. So it's so nice to just be able to run an upgrade and it worked. You don't have to worry about initializing stuff.
Yeah, I played around the diamonds and I really like it too, especially from a technical perspective. But the deal breaker for us was essentially everyone else. If you talk with auditors and the rest of the community, everyone is still stuck at proxies. I even had an auditor telling me that they would charge me a lot more if we submit a project with diamonds instead of proxies. So
honestly, they're probably a trash auditor if they said that, because they're it's not, you should, that should be a good red flag not to work with them, because like
it was a big one that told me that.
screw those guys. Like I think it was one of the Trail of Bits or someone is actually oh no, it's who is it? Open Zeppelin is like redoing their entire proxy to use the diamond storage. There's a lot of stuff that's starting to use diamonds. It's anyone who says that they're not tested yet or whatever, they're just ignorant at this point.
Yeah, the Open Zeppelin stuff, it's pretty awesome. They're leading the industry when it comes to library and stuff like that.
Yeah. Glad to see we got the Gotchi Vault, we got Dark Forest. Super cool. We got Aavegotchi. All of our contracts, the GBM, the Realm Diamond, everything's a diamond. So cool.
Now that you mentioned GBM, we launched this week, right? The GBM auctions for fake gotchis. Correct me if I'm wrong. Only fake gotchis, or can you do other type of NFTs? Or is that in the plans?
We started with fake gotchis because that's where the majority of the initial demand is. Obviously, people do want to do gotchis soon as well, so that's going to be the next one to get rolled out. We wanted to start with a kind of a softer launch to make sure that nothing went wrong, because gotchis are definitely higher valued items. They have the wearables and everything with them, so we're gonna give it a little bit of time to mellow out, make sure there's nothing wrong with anything and everything goes smoothly, and then we'll start adding assets like the gotchis and wearables, other 1155s.
Yeah, I'm particularly very curious to see wearables. Can't even imagine what's going to happen if someone drop a godlike type of wearable in one of these auctions. They have so little liquidity.
Yeah, so the GBM has
signing off.
been going.
Oh, sorry, Coder Dan, but I'm signing off. I got to get ready for this event. Hopefully, anyone local can make it, and everyone have a great day.
Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy the day.
Same. I'm gonna jump off the stage, but I'll still be listening in. I got to get ready to head over there and meet Jason. Speaking of which, Jason, Lost Local, No Futuristic, got to meet these guys in person. Super cool dudes. It's been really fun, and I really want to meet all of y'all in person. So let's do some gotcha events.
Gotchi Fest. All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, these guys are going to miss out on some alpha, but it is what it is. Gravy, should we drop some alpha? All right, so we're gonna do this in a couple steps here. We're gonna have something on YouTube, and we're gonna have something on Twitter. So Gravy, let me know when the YouTube is good. This is a big one, friends, incoming here. All right. Get a little blog post.
Let's go.
Anyone got an idea?
PvP? Is this PvP? Arena?
Boy, if it's arena, my weekend's over.
Sweaters? Ducks?
Literally, there's so much alpha. We don't even know which one to focus on. Right?
Holy crap!
Holy cow! Hell yeah!
All right, we got tweet thread incoming, friends. So get ready to get your retweet button.
Oh man, that's awesome. December 16th arena preview. Is that right?
Yeah, just waiting for this thread to get out, and then we'll do a full deep dive on what's going on. Thread's going to take a second.
Sorry for the spoiler. I got the article.
Yeah, no worries. You guys can read the article and digest it a bit while this thread, I think it's the video, is taking long time to. There we go. All right. Boom. Everyone's reading, huh? You guys are silent. All right. We're
Yeah.
almost.
Finish every bit.
We're absorbing the alpha, sir. A lot to take in. I don't.
It's concentrated. Concentrated alpha.
Oh man.
It says a lot of things. It's amazing. Not just arena.
All right. So, where to begin? So, first thing is we got this. So, what we have in December here is it's going to be a limited preview, and the reason we're doing that way is it's been a huge feature, lots of dev work going into it, and we want to get something to you guys to play around with a little bit. At the same time, we got the holidays incoming. We can't have our whole dev team in maintenance mode for this thing to be live. So it's going to be live. We're aiming for December 16th to 19th, and then it's basically going to be turned off for the holidays, and then we're going to continue adding some of the features that we want to have for the main release, and that's going to be coming in January. So we drop the tweet here for everyone. So yeah, we got our roadmap here. We got some sick graphics. Basically, here's our roadmap that Hardcore just posted here. What we're looking at for the December launch here is V0, which basically is the arena. Gotchi traits will be live, pretty much according to how we outline them in the Bible. We will have the arena will be on 72 hours during that time, and there will be Alchemica being dropped occasionally in the arena as well. So there'll be some prizes to fight for sure, and you'll be able to join. There's going to be a queue if we hit over a certain threshold of gotchis. Currently, we're looking at probably 300 gotchis. Possibly more, but probably around 300. We'll be able to be in the arena at any time. And if you join when there's 300, you'll be basically put into a queue, and when your spot comes, you'll be dropped into the arena, and you'll have about 5 seconds to orient yourself and find a place to hide, and then get ready to fight. So that's going to be the December launch. And then other than that, it says public access January. January is going to be the actual stable launch, and that is when we're planning to introduce actual Alchemica tipping. So in December, there won't be tipping. It'll just be kind of Alchemica being auto-generated. But when we get to January, people will actually be able to tip the battle with some Alchemica, which is I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be nuts to basically be able to help decide the outcome of the battle, because in January as well, we'll be introducing a little shop that has some kind of potions for AP and HP to kind of re-up your gotchi and you'll be able to carry a couple potions at any time that will be dropped if you die. So that is pretty much what we got in V0. There's a lot more covered in the blog post, but that's kind of the quick and dirty for what is coming in V0. And then as we get into the new year, we're gonna have there's so much more that we want to add to the arena to make this like a really cool Web3 NFT experience. So more of the weapons and the wearables will be implemented. There'll be more ways to interact as an observer. You'll be able to like have drop kind of text messages for people to see, full leaderboards for tippers, and this really cool idea of an in-game sponsor where you can actually display an NFT in the arena for people to see and kind of purchase if they want, and that will also contribute to the prize pool of the arena. Godlike ours as well. And then we get into V2, which will come later, which will introduce the idea of private arenas. So V0 and V1 are kind of always on public access, kind of FFA, anyone can join. Whereas V2, people will start being able to spin up their own instances. And you could, for example, this is when you could have your prize fights, right? You could say, if we want, I know we've been wanting a Yannick versus Bearded fight. So Yannick and Bearded could get together. They could schedule a fight with the parameters that they want, and they could sell tickets to it. Those tickets could then kind of fund the prize pool and the entry fee for the battle. And then people can watch the battle. They can tip it. They can also in this version, we're planning to introduce enemies and NPC enemies like liquidators, possibly others that the observers can summon into the battle, and just to kind of make it a real spicy experience. And then finally, V3 is when we get into kind of more battle modes, tournaments, other kind of like capture the flag, battle royale, various different modes, which would also be private instances spun up. So a lot on the roadmap here. This is internally at Pixelcraft, we really believe this could be one of our main growth engines, going into next year, because it's repeatable. It's something anyone can jump into as long as they have Aavegotchi, and it's harder to bot because there's actual combat going into it, and they gotta evolve with the combat and actually be skilled. So I think it's really going to be. From my perspective, combat it's kind of almost a make or break in a way for us as Pixelcraft. We really want to get it right and want to have a cool battle experience that even in the future, potentially other NFT projects could leverage as well. So it's huge and kind of a sweeping roadmap here. But I do want to say this is not going to delay the great battle stuff. We are working on that in parallel, and they kind of actually work together in many ways. So do want to let everyone know that the Great Battle is still pretty much on schedule, and this is not really a detour. This is a crucial part of testing the combat that we actually want to have in the open Gotchi world, which includes like the grid. So these all kind of work together in a way to help us balance the combat and create this super cool Gotchi versus Liquidator experience.
So is the gameplay top down similar to the Gotchiverse, or can you go into like a first person mode? Because in the video it kind of starts first person and scans up.
Yeah. Currently it is going to be equivalent, just basically the same as the Gotchiverse. However, there is I think in 2023, if things go well, then we could definitely expand and start getting into more 3D, which takes a lot more budget. It takes a lot more team members to work on it. But I would personally love to have a 3D option as well. Like we could keep the legacy 2D version, but also have full 3D for the Gotchiverse. That would be super cool. But that's kind of a stretch goal at this point.
This is pretty awesome.
Sorry, fundamentally it's doable, right? Like all the assets translate to... Okay, because it seems like that's always been like in the videos and stuff, and I was just curious. I mean, Seems doable. I just was confirming.
Yeah, so we've kind of prepared everything with that in mind, but it's once it's on, it's it's a lot more maintenance. So we just want to make sure that we're in a good position for that going into next year.
And it's real time type of game, right? It's not an idle game type like card and turn based.
No, this is real time, sir.
This is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, our whole game engine is basically has been built to accommodate this and accommodate hundreds, possibly thousands of players at the same time. So it's going to continue getting a stress test and increase the optimization. But yeah, we're ready for real time combat.
It's very impressive because I've seen a lot of games going for turn based and this idle type of games just because they are the low-hanging fruit for NFT. So I can really see the ambition of the project here.
Yeah, I mean, idle games are cool, but we definitely have always wanted real time.
100%.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing. Sorry, I was watching the video and reading through the stuff there. This is awesome. I love the way you guys have this all set up, and probably will lay down some really good groundwork for the great battle stuff. Like you say, it's not slowing it down. In fact, it might actually help you guys. With the developing that whole experience. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll be able to see much more in real time. Like if certain traits are too OP or underpowered, and we'll get to test all the wearables at the same time instead of kind of having them more scattered throughout the grid when it opens. So it's going to be a great testing bed for all the different combat balancing that we want to do.
Mark asks a really good question. He's asked, are we getting the next Bible chapters explaining combat details?
Well, I would say this is like similar to a Bible chapter. We didn't do it as a Bible chapter, but it is pretty similar. But we've laid out quite a bit of the combat already. Are there specifics that you are wanting to know? I mean, the thing is with the combat, a lot of it's not set in stone. And we're definitely going to have to do a lot of balancing and testing with you guys, which is kind of why we want to do this 3-day period first, get a lot of feedback, and then bring that into the January launch. So anything we put in the Bible at this point is really not Bible, because there's probably going to be quite a few changes as we do these kind of incentivized stress tests with you guys. That's kind of how I view the V0. It's really just like it's an incentivized play test, where if we just put it on Mumbai, probably not a lot of people are going to play it because there's nothing at stake. So we really need live stakes to have you guys to be able to leverage the community and build this together. So V0 really is kind of like a first attempt at that, and then V1 will add in all the wearables and the different various abilities that we've talked about in the Bible.
That's awesome. Yeah, it'll all get tied in together. You have you mentioned a leaderboard here as well, the ELO leaderboard. Can you explain maybe a little bit about how the leaderboard's going to work?
Yeah, so leaderboard, there's basically two. There's going to be the Gotchi. Has its own BRS, so obviously it depends. Your power level as a player is going to depend on what Gotchi you're using, and then the ELO will be more linked to your player, like your wallet, and that will kind of show how you perform with different types of Gotchis and different kind of BRS of Gotchis. So that's definitely got to be worked out. But the general idea is that you'll be able to see people's power levels and skill levels with different setups of Gotchis. Because we can't just say, like we can kind of use a general MMR way to categorize power level, but because the Gotchi power levels vary so differently, we're going to kind of need to add our own twist to that as well. Yeah. Elo is how deep Dota and CS. Yeah, because in Dota, the player, like the avatars are all generally balanced against each other pretty well. Whereas with Aavegotchi, it's like you have it's almost more like World of Warcraft, where you could have a level 90 Gotchi in terms of power level versus a level 2 in the same arena, in the public arena. So you're playing with like wildly differing power levels in terms of your avatar. So it makes it a little bit harder to do like a normal elo system, which is why we'll probably have to have kind of two systems, the Gotchi BRS and the level, and then the actual player isolated elo. So I'm sure there'll be some figuring out and some work to do on that, definitely.
Gotchi weight classes.
Yeah, weight classes are interesting because you could, in the public arena, it's not going to be there's not going to be any weight classes. So I'm just curious to see and excited to see how that's going to turn out. Could be terrible, you know. We're also experimenting with this. Maybe the public arena turns out like one Gotchi is able to destroy everyone, and it's not fun for anyone. So that'll be some good feedback that we can get. Maybe it doesn't turn out that way.
I think we know who's going to own that Gotchi.
So in the future, we'll have private instances. Maybe we'll spin off a couple various public instances as well. There's a lot of ways to handle that and kind of have different Gotchis in their different power levels and the different weight classes. You know.
Yeah, the roadmap looks really interesting here. You know, V1, V2. V2 has private arenas. Is that going to be like? Are those going to be arenas you can host on your
imagine
parcel?
imagine it's like a pay-per-view kind of experience where it's like a prize fight. Imagine like the UFC. So you could say, I'm going to create this instance. I can allow anyone to join, or I can whitelist certain gotchis or certain like player wallets to join, and there'll be an entry fee where this is going to be required. So the public arena doesn't have an entry fee, but the private ones will. And so you'll basically say winner take all. If there's 10 players, each of them would put up their entry fee, and then the winner would get that entry fee. And then they could also have a prize pool where they could sell tickets to people who actually want to watch the fight and are just interested to see how it turns out. So those, to be able to watch, they would sell tickets. It could be an Alchemica, Glitter, Ghost, whatever, Matic, whatever they want to do. And then those part of those would be scattered around on the map as well. So and those could also be split between the players as well. So like theoretically, if you have an interesting enough match, the entry fee could actually get covered by the tickets that people are paying to watch it, if it's an interesting match. And so you could theoretically come out, actually, even though you lose, you might actually be able to make it back on the tickets.
This private arena is almost like a whole market, you know, like a fight market. Like I'm thinking of like those cockfights.
Yeah,
you know, the markets. But with gotchis, it could get really interesting.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about some feds coming in and busting down your basement for hosting these fights. So that's good.
Yeah, and there's going to be all sorts of parameters. Like you could say, okay, in my fight, liquidators are not allowed, or they are allowed, or there's a certain number of players, or how many. You know, you could do it a certain number of rounds. There's 3 rounds this battle, or it's 1 round, or there's a lot of different ways and parameters will offer for those private instances.
People are having a hard time absorbing all this alpha. This is
a lot. It's
a lot more than we usually.
going on?
Yeah, this is a
I'm
lot
like,
more than we
hey,
usually throw at people.
where's those pets? Can I use them in the arena? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, this has been in the works literally for at least half a year. Just all the planning for what we want the arena to look like, all the different features that we think would be fun to have, and just would, I'm in it for the memes. I'm in it for the chaos. So the model is kind of a gladiator arena where you have people watching, and they can, instead of throwing like bread and salt, they can throw in Alchemica, and the gladiators can pick it up. It's like it's entertainment. And at some point, if we can get to a point where we could open it up a little bit to other NFT projects, that would kind of be the next level. There's a lot of work that would have to go into figuring that out, but I do see somewhere at some point where there's got to be a way where we could have other NFTs competing against Aavegotchis or each other.
Oh yeah,
there is a project doing that on Polygon, right? Yeah. I forgot the name now.
Yeah, there's a couple. I saw one was like AI Arena. I think there's definitely a couple like battlers out there. They're more like Dota kind of style, where it's like 5v5 or whatever. But I want to have.
We'll be ready to fight to the death here soon.
Yeah.
The one I remember seeing was they were basically working with different NFT projects to create 3D versions of their projects, and then include their on their arena, right?
Yeah.
Something I've been thinking about. You just mentioned arranging like battles with other projects that we vibe with. Do you see that kind of battle experience being developed within the Gotchiverse, or do you see Aavegotchis making their way out of the Gotchiverse into things like, I think you just mentioned a platform there, Ernani, and then things like Sandbox, and then you have Worldwide Web 3 where the Aavegotchis can go. Do you see the commingling of projects happening in these like multiverse metaverses, or do you see us as Aavegotchi building something for these other projects to come in?
I think the commingling is very difficult to happen, because in order for all of these projects to come together, they need to work in some sort of a standard or in a similar way, right? That you build something and that works for everyone, and we have no such thing, right? So right now, I'm bullish on the single metaverse type of approach, which means Aavegotchi with Aavegotchi assets. There will definitely be partnerships, right? Aavegotchi might partner with one specific project and bring their NFTs into the ecosystem. But for you to open to every NFT project, it's hard to see that happening. But what your take, Kodadan?
Yeah. Gravy's got kind of the point here. How do we make a Luchadore equal to a Gotchi? Luchadores could be possible because, or at least a little bit easier, because they also have on-chain traits. But it's like, imagine you have a Gotchi and then you want to put it against a Bored Ape. Like, where do you even start in customizing that Bored Ape? So there's one way you could do it, which would say there's a prototype Aavegotchi and there's a prototype ape, and all the other stuff is a skin. Like, doesn't matter how it looks, it's all just a skin, as if you would have in like a MOBA. And none of it, like if the ape has like a various like it's got a laser eyes, or it's got like the Japanese like band, the headband, doesn't really matter. It's just a skin, doesn't influence how the combat happens. And then they're balanced against each other. So that would be one way, probably the easier way. And then the other way would be let's go and analyze every single piece of like clothing that apes have, and let's actually do what we've done for Aavegotchis with the wearables with those. And that would obviously be like a super, super deep and difficult integration. So I would expect most NFT project will not be doing that. They're going to take prototype assets from different NFTs and they're going to pit them against each other, and then the different looks will just be like skins, and there might be some differences between them, like very subtle, but it won't be extremely it won't be game changing.
Yeah, but it's also an opportunity for Aavegotchi to lead the industry, right? Because you can start demanding that, if projects they want to come into the metaverse, into the Gotchiverse, they need to follow specific rules. What kind of rules? On-chain traits, on-chain images, and things like that. Yeah, although it's difficult, it's also I see that also as an opportunity. Like you said yourself, maybe Luchadores is a potential partnership in the near future, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they have on-chain traits, they're definitely they would be higher priority for sure. And yeah, we could define a schema. We'd be basically isolating ourselves from all the other NFTs out there, or we could just say, if you don't have these traits, we're going to give them to you. But again, it comes down to there's so much uniqueness, but like each asset, each NFT is unique. So if they don't have on-chain traits, yeah, we'd probably just have to give them like maybe a random role or something.
I mean, there's also I think it's called, what is it, mutually agreed combat or something. Like, you mentioned you could make your own arenas. They could, have some kind of specialty PvP event where it's, us versus a different, project, and then, all the traits and dynamics are agreed upon ahead of time, and then you pay up to enter this tournament, and there's a reward and all that kind of stuff, and you just, it's like we're agreeing to these terms ahead of time, and then, we let it play out.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to do it. It's once we have our combat solidified and we're happy with how Aavegotchi is working, and we'll definitely spend a little effort and look at some other NFTs out there. Because this tech is going to be awesome. It's definitely going to lead. I think it's going to lead the NFT industry. No one else is doing this kind of stuff.
This is crazy. You can look around too. Like I think I like to. It's good to keep an eye out for what everyone else is doing, just to see, just to have a general awareness. So I've been looking at other projects and haven't ever really found anything that fits what we're doing. So I think a lot of people that are still around here see that.
Yeah, I do that almost full time, guys. I speak with a lot of projects every week, and I keep hearing the community because again, there's nothing like this out there.
Yeah, I can't believe any other projects are nowhere really collabs with GBM. GBM was so revolutionary. I love what they did with fake gotchis.
Yeah, all the other projects, they have roadmaps. Their roadmap looks great.
Hey, and I saw you guys updated the fake gotchi website. Now it shows floor price and last sale and market cap, which is really cool to see. The different. Let's go.
Yeah, we need to. We're working on adding the actual auction last sold and then bazaar last sold, so people can always know, what the accurate last sold price was for each asset. Currently, that it just says never sold in the bazaar, even though it's actually been sold on the auctions house. That's going to be a big change that will a nice little update that we'll be shipping next week.
GM gotchi mode's about to sell out. Good for Zybot.
Is he dropping them? Is he dropping them on fake gotchis right now?
Oh, they're all listed. Yeah. He's been listing them all morning. There's been bids on all of them, so he's good about to sell out.
Oh, they're GBM.
Really cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, all GBM. Honestly, more fun way to do it.
Some of these are going.
There's distribution too.
65 ghosts, and then there's like 15 ghosts. So the difference is huge. Some of these, there is, so I've seen some talk about like botting and stuff. The GBM is, it's a difficult thing to prevent bots entirely because one, the auctions are on chain, and we do have a signature verifier that comes from our backend. But currently, there's not a lot of there's no authentication happening on that like we would have in the Gotchiverse. So it's not very effective for. It's effective for a single drop, but when you start doing like ongoing drops like this, it can be difficult to prevent botting. So we're basically gonna see how it goes, right? If it turns out to be a really big problem, we'll have to spend some effort and possibly link up some of the stuff that we're using in the Gotchiverse and continuing to improve on that kind of tech. But it's a pretty difficult thing, and the GBM team, their opinion on it is basically, a bid is a bid. So the system is not set up to make it impossible for bots. I did see, I think it was first Aavegotchi mentioned he made a smart contract to basically auto bid on as the first bidder, as the seller. That could definitely be an option. We could allow the seller to create like basically a first bid, but that is currently not in the spec. So we'd have to add that. That could be an option though, if you're just trying to prevent the botters from getting that first bid.
Yeah, I think this is a little different from the other drops because the other drops was kind of getting dropped from Pixel Crafts, but like GBM said, at least a bid's a bid, and at least some of these artists or whoever's putting up artwork, if someone wants the bot and bid 3 ghosts minimum, I mean, that's a win for both parties.
I think, for fake Gotchis especially, it's almost a no-brainer. Like, a bid's a bid. When you get into things that have a little bit more well-defined floor price, then that's where it could be a little bit more problematic because those guys, there's really no risk for the botter at that point. They generally know like this wearable goes for 50, therefore I'm gonna put a bid for 25 because I know someone's gonna outbid me because they'd be crazy if they wouldn't. So that with fake Gotchis, that's another reason we wanted to start with fake Gotchis because we know it's a bit safer as a market and kind of suss out how the botters are, what kind of methods they're using, and it's going to be interesting to see. So if anyone is following the bots, it'd be great. If anyone's doing any research on them, we're following it definitely. But we want, if you guys have some insights into it, it'd also be very, very helpful.
I've been milling it over in my head for a couple days, and I can't bring myself to hate the bots in this instance because there's a person behind that bot, and I mean, you did make a good point with the wearables. They know where the floor is at, but they do potentially run the risk of ending up with those items in some instance. And it also it maintains activity. I don't know how deep our numbers are, but we're just not there all the time to be bidding on these items. So having the floor maintained by an automated army that there is a person in the mix somewhere. So I don't know, I'm trying to get wrap my head around it. In these instances, I don't hate the bots as much as when we're just putting Alchemica out and they snipe it and dump it at floor price. It seems like a different beast altogether.
The only damage they really do is because they're earning Ghost and then they're just going to sell it for USDC. So they do increase the sell pressure on Ghost because all of our assets are sold in Ghost. If this were in DAI, I don't think anyone would have a problem at all. No one would care. If a botter is going to make DAI, they make DAI, right? Doesn't affect us at all. But because they're earning Ghost, people they're earning it and they're selling it into USDC, and that's why we have a problem with it. So
that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's an element
actually the core reason.
Yeah,
you're earning 10% on what, 3 Ghost? Is that what he's earning, or whatever the botter?
Yeah, it depends on what they set the initial bid at, but yeah, it could be like 10%.
I think it doesn't make a lot of sense to make bot protections against GBM auctions because they are also, when they bid, making other people to earn ghosts, right? Because they are outbid. I think one of the ways that we can essentially put everyone in the same level is to build. I wouldn't even call it a bot, but a system to do automated bidding, right? So if you ever bid on eBay or some of these auction websites, you can basically say, I want to bid up to a specific value, say 1,000, and you don't instantly bid 1,000, right? You bid the maximum increase of the last bid, right? And the system is going to be automatically bidding for you if you set those conditions, right? So what I think we could do as a community is build like this feature in the website or a community-based bot that enables anyone to do that. So you don't have only very highly technical people trying to extract from the ecosystem. You also have the community itself with these bots trying to bid as much as possible.
Well, it's going to be a gas war because it would be the community system versus all these other guys, the snipers. So I don't think that would really solve too much, unless I guess you could theoretically set a really high gas price, maybe. But I don't see how that would really help. I think the botters will just adapt and try other things. But really, the main issue is that everything is valued in Ghost, and we don't want botters who are known to be extractors dumping the token. That's really the main issue. So, but I mean, they are putting up collateral. They are risking if for example, people could look at Zbot's pieces and be like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna outbid you on that. This guy he bid like 15 ghosts on a bunch of pieces. He'll just end up with a bunch of gotchi mode pieces.
Yeah.
If you guys want to collaborate and take the botter down, it could be kind of funny.
Even with the other auctions, with the parcels and wearables, I didn't think it was that big of an issue because we had almost 10,000 plus listings at the time. So it was really hard for anyone to really bot. So before that went live, I had like things in mind that I wanted to bid on first, which is really fun. I can't believe that even went through. How many listings in total do we have? We had parcels and we had wearables. There was so many listings.
Yeah, there was like 20,000. And I mean, so initially it was mostly humans, I think, especially for the second land drop. Then the bots, like it didn't take long for the botters to basically figure out the API and stuff to be able to use the contract directly. But by that time, we were in price discovery mode, so it was fine. And most of them, they got a couple outbids here and there, but it wasn't anything very significant.
Yeah, not at all. I think the little pump was the worst. That was ages ago.
that was bad, yeah.
And so, even sorry to cut you off. I was going to say the first drop ever, Haunt 1, there was no botting issues, but no one knew that if you increase the gas, that it can go by quicker. So that's how a lot of people got free stuff.
Yeah, I remember there was also like an issue with approvals for Haunt 1 that kind of wrecked people. Like especially on the wearables, I think it was harder. They had like pre-approved somehow. It was kind of messy. I mean, first come first serve drops they're so hard to do well, which is why we really just prefer the GBM model. Or the crafting model. It's either crafting or auction.
We touched on GBM this Wednesday. Actually, we had a whole Twitter space around launch models and why Aavegotchi is kind of innovating with GBM and using fake gotchis as part of that experience. And the Mandala team was just blown away by what we're doing over here with GBM.
Yeah, honestly, they could. They should be using GBM as well. Everyone should be.
I think they mentioned they're considering it.
Yeah. The GBM team is like they're launching their own marketplace, NFT, my NFT. I don't know when that's going to go live, but I did see some internal like testing of it. It was looking pretty nice.
Sorry, when you say your NFT, you mean like a fake gotchi or?
No, it's called mynft.com, I think. It's like it's a NFT.
Oh.
It's like OpenSea, but it has the NFT bidding auction built into everything.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I think GBM. We were talking about it on our spaces. It's just a great model for price discovery for anything. Like, I'd love to see more GBM stuff, IRL, like on various different products. Once we get a little bit more adoption, I'd love to see GBM get a larger, like, real world adoption. Because what a great way to get some price discovery. Like, let's end thrift stores. Let's do a like GBM model for like thrift items. Like, that's a very, where I live, that's like a really hot thing people do, is like they open up thrift stores and then go buy those specialized in antiques or like clothing or whatever, and then they just put it out on the rack, right? It's like a curated collection of items, but to GBM that would be just insane, especially for like sought after stuff.
That'd be pretty cool. There's so many like if imagine like Shopify adopted it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the level you guys are innovating on. So I think Aavegotchi, there'll be papers written on it. There'll be studies probably done on it at some point of people like looking back to like like for historical purposes, probably even. I think Aavegotchi will be a reference for a lot of things.
Alibaba Gachi, if Taobao started doing GBM auctions, Taobao's like the biggest. It's the Amazon of China. That'd be nuts.
I'm crying
You guys
laughing at
use
this guy's response.
Yes, do it now. We must support the community.
He has like a LinkedIn profile picture for the Aavegotchi DAO.
Speaking of Aavegotchi DAOs, we do have about 17 minutes, and I'm gonna jump off here. But we got do we have a preview of what we're going over tomorrow there, Hefe?
Yeah, let me jump over to it right now. Absolutely. One of the big things we'll be talking about is the DTF SOP review. It's about time we do a DTF SOP review. Dr. Wagme's gonna help me out with that. I believe there's a thing drafted up already, but we need to probably just confirm multi-sig signers and just kind of maybe in general discuss about DTF, what it's going to be like in this next year now, and multi-sig nominations. We'll talk about the mission and vision a little bit. We got a ton of like entries on our forum, so I definitely want to discuss that a little bit. If there is a Forge update, we can do that. And then the DAO Foundation nominations, I believe that proposal has come to an end. So maybe we should look at that and then also discuss the next steps for the foundation.
It's got like 1 day left in it. It says
okay.
December 4th. In 14 hours, it's going to end. So we are getting close, yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to review it tomorrow because, I think 14 hours from now, I think we'll make it. I think we should be able to look at that and see who's made it in for our 9 signers for the director positions. And one more thing, PondDAO is going to be, if they haven't already, submitted a SIG prop for DAO liquidity. We discussed this a little bit, but we can do a Q&A around that. And
we
discussed that a little
removed
bit.
that. They didn't have a Gotchi ID, and we said last time it was going to be a bit stricter. So
okay,
they need to they can just resubmit it with with a gotchi. That'd be great.
Okay.
Or have someone from the community, because that person, I don't think they even have a gotchi. So it'd be better. I mean, it would just be better if they did have a gotchi, or have someone from the community sponsor the proposal.
Yeah, of course. I think we're in a group chat with them, so we'll get that posted up. And if you guys have any questions around that, we can address those tomorrow as well. And then, of course, Coder Dan, if you have anything specific to discuss regarding the DAO or foundation or otherwise, you're of course welcome to discuss that as well.
I don't think I have too much. I know we have the Constitution is currently being drafted, and we want to give that to the community, have plenty of time to do some passes on that. We were really trying to get this done before the end of the year, because it would just look good to have the DAO set up in the calendar year of 2022. But I don't think we're going to be able to make it at this rate, because the Constitution is taking a little bit longer.
I think in a general sense, I think we're doing pretty good. Like, we got our 9 signers. We'll get the Constitution, and we're well on our way, I think, with that. One more thing I wanted to mention is I got Jared working on the respec potion. I know we passed a respec potion a while ago, and Tommy Gotchi actually was able to put together a spec sheet for that. So we got Jared, who's going to work on the smart contract side, and if we need anything from Pixelcraft, we'll maybe reach out to maybe like Maury or something, and get that figured out. But we're working on that, and also got some other big news coming up pretty soon here regarding something really cool that Gotchi Farmy is working on, but not ready to really reveal much yet. It's going to be a pretty big deal.
Did the Vault already vote on the channel Agip 53 channel Alchemica by burning kinship? Seems like I think they did, but
I thought so, but I'm not sure. Maybe Dr. Wagme can confirm if he's in here.
I'm looking at the 2 addresses here, trying to figure out. That one is also going to be ending very soon, 22 hours, a little bit more time. They don't have. Okay, they haven't yet. So that'll be very close, I think. But if it's 10% or lower difference, then it will not pass.
Yeah. I see Hardcore's posted about Rarity Farming Season 5. We did discuss that last weekend. I think they're waiting for the Forge to be complete to launch that. So we still have some time, I think, to have some more conversations around that. If we have some really cool ideas we might want to implement or gamify it a bit, we can definitely discuss that. But I think we got a pretty good agenda for tomorrow. So we'll roll with that. And that's at 2 p.m. UTC for anybody who's just joining.
Cool. I'm going to drop this tweet here one more time. Everyone give it a like, give it a retweet, quote tweet, do whatever you want to do. At Elon Musk, make him aware.
At Elon Musk, absolutely.
It's going to be great. I mean, if you guys know any like Twitch streamers that would be interested in this kind of stuff, this is going to be the Twitch moment, I think, for Aavegotchi, where people actually have some gameplay. After this is live, no one can say you guys don't have gameplay anymore.
Oh man, GMI just dropped a whole bunch of money on a brand new streaming setup, so we'll be able to do like multi-streams and stuff and really level up our game. So
nice.
Be ready for ESPN style live streams from GMI.
It's gonna be you guys should be like, you can tip. Like, one of the things you could do, you could play, but tipping is also going to be part of the fun. It's like just kind of bringing chaos to the fight. That's going to be another cool dimension of it.
Oh yeah, we're going to have commentary on all this stuff. It's going to be like ESPN. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have like the red box and everything. We'll do like the after battle highlights, and we'll go interview the gotchis. It'll be a whole thing, man. Like, this is why I get so excited about this content, because like the amount of content that's going to come out of this is going to be, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be insane.
I'm already seeing it. Like, fake gotchis is bringing in some new people, and it's cool. But this is PvP and combat is really what's gonna start like attracting people, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is what I can show to the gaming crowd that maybe doesn't see the vision yet, and really get them to see it now. This is awesome. Thank you, Coder Dan, for sharing all this crazy alpha that I'm still absorbing. Probably still tomorrow will be absorbing. And, everyone else coming up here and sharing things that they did at Art Basel. And it's been a really great week. It's been another great week for Gotchi Gang. So.
Yes, sir. All right, friends. We had 9 minutes left on the spillover. Get some last minute channeling in. And alpha exhaustion, seriously. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Dow call. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Art Basel if you're there. Get some stickers.
Hell yeah. I think for those of you still around here, GMI is going to be we'll pop off some parcels here. If no future's around, I'll pop off mine and we'll get a little Alchemica shower going here for you guys.
Nice. I'm going to head out, friends. Later.
All right. For those of you who want to hang out with us, head over to the GMI parcel. I set up a bounce gate. Let's see. Bounce gate ID. It's in District 12, and it's called D42 or GMI Parade Last Stop, I think it's called. We can head over there. I'll pop it off. I'll pop it off with a nice high kinship gotchi. Do a little finale here. That was crazy. So much alpha. T12. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Is it not up there? Oh, weird. Dang, I don't know why it didn't. Maybe I switched my accounts. That's why it didn't go through. Ooh, okay. Hang on. Let me set one up real quick. Or if you guys just want to make it to D12, you guys know where our GMI parcel is, right? I think a lot of people know by now, but I'll set up a bounce gate real quick here just in case. Oh, dang. I won't be able to do that. Yeah, this one's going to be tough. You know what? Maybe I dropped the ball on this one. So maybe I'll set that up for next weekend and we'll do an epic dump. But I'll still go ahead and pop the GMI one. For those of you who want to come pick some Alchemic up and know where we're at. I see Choina. Well, whoever wants to come show up at this parcel, I'm gonna head over there and I'll just pop it off. We'll call it a hangout, Hold on. I'm logging back in. I got kicked out. Here we go. We got the cavalry showing up. We got some peeps. I'm gonna pop this off right now. If you guys want to go ahead and pop your altars right now, we'll get some nice alchemic shower going. Kind of glad we got these low-level altars over here. Here we go.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, what up, what up?
I literally just woke up. I know I'm mad late, but I hear that people are going to be fighting, so I'm getting amped for that.
Hell yeah. PvP, man. This is something we've been talking about since the early days.
Yeah, there's a lot of trash that I've talked, so I'm going to have to back it up now with my various gotchis. I got like.
Well, you had time to prepare.
Yeah, right. Did they say when V0 would be coming out? Like, I know it's sometime this month, right?
I think, yeah, they said December. I think it's pretty soon here, like in a week or something. But it'll be open. V0 will be open for a short time, so it's only going to be like a limited test.
Nice.
And then V1 will come out in the new year.
Also, those POAP cards, when I left with Miami, I ended up leaving because they gave me like 100 to give out, and I was so busy shooting video, I only gave out a few. So I have a ton of them. They're physical cards though, so I don't know if I can like just grab the POAP and then transfer to people. I'm gonna try to figure that out, but if I can, I might be able to grab a whole bunch of POAPs and transfer to people. I don't know if they're soulbound POAPs or if I need to get a POAP app, but I got like 100 of these damn cards.
Oh, dude, yeah, we were talking about it during the call. Cody Dan said the way he mentioned it was like if you express mail it, like if you like express mail me one, I can do it before December 5th. So it'd have to show up in like 2 days because that's the cutoff. Unless, like you say, unless you're somehow able to do the POAPs and then send them out. I'm not sure about that.
What I don't understand. Well, I don't know if it's the kind of POAP that's like, bam, you like when you run the card on your phone, does it automatically like transfer it to your address, or if it's something that you once the POAP's minted, you can then send it. If I could send it, then this makes it much easier. But I just don't know at this point.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to clear that up tomorrow, I guess, and if you can somehow figure out a way, man, that'd be cool because I'd love to get one of those. Yeah, a lot of peeps want that. Did you? I guess you got a POAP though. Do you have like a screenshot or something? Like,
no, I mean
Gbot?
I was there on pretty much Thursday was my main day there, and I was just shooting the whole day. So although I had all these POAPs, I just never had a time to actually like download it or do whatever we had to do. We demonstrated it for some people, but I didn't do it on my phone because my phone screen's cracked. So I don't want like I don't think it was. Yeah, but I'll give it a shot today when I get home because all the cards are in my house right now.
Z5 is a good point. If it's a POAP on the POAP protocol, you might be limited to one per wallet. Is what he's saying. So you have to spin up some burner wallets, maybe.
Yeah, I know ZombieShepherd gave out a decent number of cards, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of them still around. So maybe I'll try to see if I can mint a whole bunch, but I'm not sure if it's going to work.
Yeah, The cards themselves are kind of collectible, I guess, too. That's awesome. So yeah, it sounds like you had a great time in Miami for a few days.
Yeah, I mean, I was really only there. I was there for less than 48 hours. It was just get in, shoot video of the events that we were in, which were good. It was, Miami's crazy. The traffic was crazy. It rained while we were like walking around with all this shit. So, but it was fun. Like people like kind of. We talked to a lot of people. There's this guy on Twitter. His name is Kinky Bedbugs. He's the guy who bought the 600 ETH Pudgy Penguin a few months ago. We got to meet him, and he was really impressed with the fake Gotchi art because Lost Local and I were walking on the street and he saw it, and then he was like, "Yo, that's dope." And we explained the whole dual streaming royalties and the the card on the back of the physical print and how that actually gives a royalty to the artist if you sell the physical. And he was just like blown away. So people are starting to take notice of what we're doing, and I think this arena stuff is only going to amplify that.
Hell yeah, we were talking about that during our hangout earlier today. With all the energy around fake Gotchis Art Basel and the reaction people are getting, and kind of like how you guys can take them down the rabbit hole through like this artwork now, and it's really cool. It's another conversation piece.
Yeah, exactly. I guess last question. When does we have the election vote end soon? Right, tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, this is for the Dow Foundation you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
That one has 14 hours left on it now, so we'll be discussing that tomorrow when this is all wrapped up.
Yeah, dope. I haven't voted yet. I was gonna wait till the very last minute to see if I can help a friend that's like near the edge, but I just don't want to forget and miss the XP.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and vote on those proposals, guys. I do think we have 3 other ones or a couple other ones that are wrapping up here pretty soon, so go get your XP. Right on. Well, I think spillover is now. We did a little spillover there for a GMI. This was a great hangout. Glad you could at least make it out to the end there, and we'll see you, I guess, tomorrow for the Dow call at 2 p.m. UTC.
Yep. Take it easy, friends. See you guys in the morning tomorrow.
Peace out, friends.
Peace.